So I recently learned Brazilian Portuguese in just 6 weeks, so now it's time to embark on another language challenge. On this occasion, I'll try to reach a B2 level in Dutch in just 3 months. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you both the motivations behind this challenge as well as how I'm gonna go about it. So firstly, why Dutch, right? Because I could have chosen so many other languages that are spoken by a way larger amount of people, right? Well, one of the reasons is that it should be a relatively easy language for me to learn because I'm fluent in both German and English. And this makes Dutch a suitable language for this sort of fluent in 3 months challenge, because if I were to choose a way more difficult language, it would take me way longer to learn it, and thus it probably wouldn't make that much sense to post about it here on YouTube. The second reason for learning Dutch is that I love the Netherlands. I've been there around 3 times in my life, and I believe it's one of the most beautiful countries in Europe. So I guess it won't hurt to know the basics of the language in case I want to move there at some point. And finally, a third reason why I want to learn Dutch is because it's very similar to Afrikaans, the language spoken in South Africa and in other neighboring countries. Which means that if I spoke Dutch, I would be able to learn Afrikaans extremely easily. So I guess that by learning this tongue, I'm sort of getting 2 languages for the price of 1. So let me continue by letting you know about the very few things I know about this language. So starting with the pronunciation, I've noticed that Dutch people use this sort of rolled R very often, like g. I mean, as far as I could tell, it sounds pretty similar to the German R, for example, in the word ramen, but it's sort of more exaggerated in Dutch, I would say. I'll find out in the upcoming days if that's true. Then I think that they also use the sounds O and O. In terms of pronunciation, I would say that was basically it. I don't think I know any other Dutch sounds. Okay, now let me tell you all of the words I know in this language, which as far as I could tell are just 3. 2 of them are cities, so I guess they don't really count. So I know the word goedenavond, which means good evening. It's sort of very similar to the German version of it, like guten Abend. And then I think I know how to pronounce 2 cities in the Netherlands, one of which is Groningen, which I think they pronounce as Groningen, something like that. And then you have Amsterdam, which as far as I could tell, they say Amsterdam. Well, I probably didn't pronounce those words 100% right, but at least I think I have sort of a general idea of how the language sounds. Okay, so now let me tell you about how I'm planning to go about it. So the first thing I'm gonna try to do is to listen to a lot of videos in a very basic level of Dutch. So I already had a brief look at YouTube channels devoted to teaching Dutch, and I was surprised because I could find loads of them, which means that it shouldn't be difficult to find videos targeted at people who have a sort of A1 level, who are sort of just starting up with the language. While watching these videos, I'll translate the words I don't know and create flashcards out of them, which I'll add to a new Anki deck. I'll also try to review my Anki deck very often in order to get familiar with all of the new words that I want to learn. And apart from that, I'll also try to watch these first videos in Dutch more than once in order to get very familiar with their content. In order for this to happen, I'll save all of the videos I watch on a newly created playlist on YouTube so that I can access them very quickly whenever I want to watch them again. So I'll try to go at full blast with this, especially during the first 7 days of the challenge. Because after that, I want to be able to speak the language already, because I'm gonna have some lessons on ITALKI and I want to be able to at least say a few words in Dutch. And if I want that to happen, I guess I'll have to invest 2 hours per day at the very least learning this language. So in principle, I'm just gonna use YouTube to learn the language at first, and after that, after I start having some lessons on iTalki, I guess the teachers will provide me with some additional materials which I'll start using as well. Finally, something else I'm gonna use in order to learn this language are songs. So I created a new YouTube playlist and added to it a bunch of different songs in Dutch. I've tried to create a very diverse list combining quite different music styles. I've made this playlist public, so you can have a look at it and let me know what you think about it, or if you would add some other authors to it. So that's basically how I'm gonna go about it. Do you think that I'm gonna make it and reach a B2 level in just 3 months? To be honest, that sounds quite unrealistic to me, because it was already difficult for me to reach a B2 level with Brazilian Portuguese. And although I did manage to do that, Brazilian Portuguese is way closer to the other languages that I speak than Dutch. So I don't know, probably a B1 level is way more realistic, but let's see. Maybe I managed to get to a B2. In any case, let me know what you think about it and stay tuned because I'm gonna be posting updates very often, probably once a week or once every 2 weeks. Alright, that was it for today. Thanks for watching and see you next time.